9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Good morning. I hope everyone's having a great start to their day. I'm Colin. This is Joe, and we're your hosts. You're watching Well That Effing Figures. But more importantly, if you haven't, come subscribe and hit that bell because not only do we do our shows on Sunday mornings, now we do them whenever the hell we want.
We do what we want when we want, right?
But yeah, exactly. But enough of all that. We got a guest this morning. We have Jay from Geek Dad Life. So welcome him to the show.
Welcome.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. You did great, Colin.
Yeah, you did great. Yeah.
People don't know, like before he went on, I was like, don't F it up.
Right.
I always say that.
Better be rehearsed.
Yeah. If you guys don't already know, Joe is an asshole. So
Yeah.
Well,
Let me introduce myself. I'm an asshole.
I mean, the Eagles hat. I mean, are you like from Philly or like?
I'm actually originally from Delaware, so we always growing up always went to the Eagles games. They were like half an hour from us.
Yeah,
I live in Maryland now, but I could throw a stone to Delaware, so it's the same. I've always been an Eagles fan. I know someone's gonna eventually bring this up, so I'll tell you now. There was a brief moment in time when Chip Kelly was the Eagles coach.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking hated everything Philadelphia. I didn't want to watch those games. I hated him with a passion, and I actually started to root for my backup team, which was the Pittsburgh Steelers. So in case anybody ever hears that, like I know my friend Scott will bring that up someday because he did it the other day. And I'm like, you know what, dude? It was like fucking 2 months.
Yeah.
And, I just couldn't stand watching this team.
But here's the thing. Like, it's the Steelers. It's not like it was different conferences or whatever.
Right.
You know, so it's
wasn't
not
the
like
Cowboys.
You see, it's not like, I was going to root for the Cowboys for 2 months, or even worse, the Giants for 2 months in your, fandom. So, it's like that's fine. I think.
See, thank you. See,
yeah, tell them to go to hell.
Yeah, I did.
Good.
A few times because I'm an asshole, like Colin just said.
Yeah.
No, but I know I have a few friends that live in Delaware, and yeah, a lot of them generally are Philly fans. I have found.
Yeah. I mean, we used to go. We were so close to Baltimore and Philly that. My dad used to take me to Indianapolis Colts games when I was little, and sometimes, just most of the time, we would go to the vet to watch the Eagles and Sixers and their stadium and all that. So I've always been 4 for 4 in Philly. I love all 4 of their teams. And
Brian Brink's Delaware, but he's a North Jersey transplant, so not an Eagles fan. So
that's okay. Still welcome to the show.
Yeah. It is funny how that works, though, right? Because it's like. Being a San Diego sports fan, we generally say, fuck LA. LA's the fucking worst. Go to hell. But now all we have is baseball. So it's just the Dodgers. Like, I just hate the Dodgers with a passion, and they can like burn in hell. But then there's doing lives and you're nationwide globally, watch stuff like that. So it's weird. It's just like I have, friends that are Dodger fans, just like, but when it's baseball time, we're talking baseball, go to hell. Anything else, I love you. You're good to go.
Yeah. And you're from North Carolina, correct?
I live in North Carolina now, but I was born and raised in San Diego.
Okay.
And I lived here now for 20 years.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
That was my next question. Like, why a Padres fan? But now I know. So
yes. So diehard, again, born and raised in San Diego, all over San Diego. I grew up poor in San Diego. But that was, that was the Tony Gwynn era. And then, so Tony Gwynn's like my number one all time.
Understood.
Sports star.
Hell of a player. Yeah.
He was amazing.
Yep. Definitely.
Yeah. Like anybody that he's like it's beyond sports hero. He's just like almost a patron saint of San Diego. That's how much.
Yeah, he's like the Brian Dawkins of Philly. Like he'll always, no matter what, he'll always be around. I'm sure he'll be there today, waving the flag. So
yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah, he's my favorite player of all time. For the Eagles, and he did go to Denver for a brief stint when he, his last year, I believe. Yeah, but he was never a Bronco, so it was just one of those.
Kind of like Emmitt Smith was with the Cardinals, right, or whatever. It's just like
right.
About that team. Yeah. Johnny Unitas was with the Chargers his last season.
Yeah, and he was a lifelong Colt, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Weird how that crap works.
It happens the last year. You know, when Tom
That's
Brady
gotta-
comes back again, I don't know who he's going to play for, but
That's gotta suck doing your whole career with a team and then retiring with 1 year on a different team.
well, he won't. Well, they'll always retire. They go back to their roots, and like Brian Dawkins has or will retire as an Eagle. He won't retire as a Denver Bronco for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So they usually go back and take care
Or
of
they'll
it.
sign like a 1-day contract or something like that.
Right. Yeah, they'll take care of business somehow. But I don't think very few cases where they retire with that sorry ass team they ended with. You know, so
I wonder. So I don't root for football anymore because the Chargers moved to LA, so that's why I don't. But
yeah.
when I did, like, I take sports way too seriously, and I get I'll not sleep. Like, say the Chargers lost a game they should have won, I wouldn't sleep for like a fucking week. Like, it was like that's how much seriously I would take it. And even Padre games, at least baseball is tougher because there's so many damn games. But if they lose a game, I'll just be mad for like a day until the next game. But like, how are you? Because today's the Super Bowl. You're in the Super Bowl. Like, how are you feeling?
So years ago, I would get like you. I would be super crazy. I would hit the floor. I'd get on the floor. I'd be like all over the place.
Yeah.
Now, I really don't care as much as I used to. Do I want them to lose the night? Absolutely not. But I'm not going to go crazy if they do because it is what it is. You know, I'm not losing anything over it.
Yeah.
So I think the NFL just got on my nerves the last few years to the point where I'm just teetering on the edge of maybe not watching it a whole lot much longer. But we'll see, you know. So we'll see what happens. But I'll enjoy the game though.
I think you got it this year, Joel.
What's that?
I think you're gonna win this year. I
hope so, but
I'm not an
gonna
Eagles fan, but
yeah,
I think it's Joe's year.
I hope so. We had one 5 years ago, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, you won recently. San Diego's never won anything.
Right. Yeah. For a long time there, it was the case, but yeah. So, when you started your collection, did you live out in San Diego, or is this something you started when you came east? Or
I mean, this collection pretty much started when my wife and I moved in together before we were married. Now I've been collecting since '95, so in San Diego. So there's things in here that was when I either transitioned from being like just a kid buying toys to just being a collector, and you know, actually childhood survivors that are in here. But like this collection proper started, and I do toy room tours, but this is like the place that there's the I got the Eternia, and so I love 80s to 90s stuff. But started when my wife and I moved in together, and there was a 2-bedroom apartment, and so we were gonna make one room like the office or whatever. I was like, honey, do you mind if I just put a couple shelves for just some storage? I'm just gonna that's it. I just need like 2 shelves. I'm gonna put my like Ghostbuster Firehouse, Castle Grayskull, just to have it out. It's been in boxes now for like years, you know. She's like, sure, go ahead. Another shelf pops up, and then eventually that office became like my first toy room. And then since then, the townhouse that we lived in after that, I had an office that was the toy room, and then its final form, and hopefully our forever home, is the toy room that it is now.
Yeah, same here. I hope this is our forever home, unless I get lucky and move to Florida or down where you're at or South Carolina, somewhere like that. But I hate to move all this shit at this point. It's
like no matter what it is, I just don't really want to move it again. I don't want to pack it all up again. I don't have to figure out a space again. It's exhausting.
Yeah, because then you got to put it back up. It's it's not fun. It can be fun, but it's not fun when you have to do it. You know.
Yeah.
But,
no, I hate moving. No matter what you do, like I can write everything on the box, or I'll leave little notes like this is in here, and then I totally forget everything.
Yeah.
And I open stuff up, and I was like, "Damn, this was packed good. What the hell happened?" I can't stand it. I'd rather just carry everything piece by piece.
Pretty much, because we moved here 5 years ago. Yeah, it might be 6 years this February. But anyway, and there just be times just like, no, I know I had that piece. Where the fuck did it go? And I'll look forever and ever, and then I'll find there's like one random box that somehow still hasn't been open in the goddamn garage, and it's like, oh, there it is. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't ever want to. The Detolfs alone are like just so scary to move because obviously nobody keeps those boxes, and you can't repackage those.
Yeah.
So you just have to like, I don't even know what I would do, but
I would just sell them and
sell
then
them and
buy new ones.
buy one. Yeah, probably
Yeah,
be the
probably.
safest way.
Yeah. Just let the existing ones be somebody else's problem to put somewhere, and then just go.
Although this is going to sound cheap, but I paid 70 each for these. Now them fucking things are 110. So
Well, so that's what I'm saying. So you can at least
Yeah.
be like, hey, these are 110 brand new. I'll sell them to you for $90. You
there
make
you
a
go.
profit.
Yeah.
Right. Geez, selling Detolfs making a profit.
Yeah. People do it all the time, man. Sometimes you come across Marketplace. There was a lady selling 2 of them. They were $25 each. And I knew when I messaged her that they were going to be gone already.
Yeah.
And sure enough, she was like, didn't even answer. She just deleted it. Like I knew like it was not going to last. So
Yeah, IKEA's been selling those things like hotcakes. By
Mhm.
me, they're out of stock all the time.
Yeah.
We had a stack of them the other day when I went to pick up. I bought a new Billy bookcase for back there.
Mhm.
And I turned around and there was like just stacks and stacks of Detolf. And I usually get the white ones just because it matches better in here. But they had stacks of them, and I was surprised.
I usually, or at least, so I've had the Detolf style for over 5 years, and but I kind of feel like there's the final form of this idea, which is like an actual like, you know, glass display case, like retail display case. I want to get to that because I feel like, you know, people that I've had friends that have done that, and just the ability to have just like a whole shelf behind you just get some, because it's just so much dead space in between the things.
Because you're gonna have like about an inch or two between each one if you got them close together, like it seems like you do. So yeah, you do have a lot of dead space there.
Yeah, I never wanted to do Detolfs because of that. You know, I wanted to, you know, make a scene, but I also wanted it behind glass. But for the time being, I'm doing Detolfs. I got sucked into it.
There's some really nice glass display cases. But the thing is, you just kind of, they're made for retailers, right? So you have to go to like a wholesale retail thing, a store. There's one in Raleigh, which is nice. It's called, I mean, it's not nice. It's nice that we have one, but it's almost just like a warehouse full of just like fixtures. But them shits are expensive and they don't always have the right ones. So so I keep my eye open, and, you know, when the price is right and it's the right kind that I'm looking for, I'll pounce. But like a buddy of mine, Craig, who is host of Toy Anxiety, like he has a distributor, and he has these big, nice retail display cases, and his room is just lined with them. It's really cool how he did it. It's expensive.
Yeah, that's what I want to do eventually, because I would just for my NECA turtles. I mean, actually, I wouldn't even, but I wouldn't want to mix them. But I want to do like a huge street scene.
Yeah.
You know, but like tall buildings where they're all different levels and stuff. But I want it behind glass. So I don't know. Maybe someday I'll have to get a custom made one or something. That's my dream though for those.
That's everybody's dream, right? Like, that's where I wanted to go. Can we get props to Angry Elf here? 4 Detolfs for about 12 years. Bought them in Italy and have moved them 4 times. That's
wow.
Yeah, you deserve an award.
I know who to call when I need my Detolf move. He seems like a Detolf expert mover. So
we need Angry Elf to start a YouTube channel, and it's just like how-tos with Detolfs.
How to move Detolfs,
moving
minimal damage. Yeah,
moving toy collections.
He gets 100,000 subscribers in a week because there's so many like, what? I gotta know.
We may be coming on something here. Moving toy collections.
That's a good topic. That's a good video topic.
Do you normally like pre-order or buy your stuff online more than you would go out to stores, or do you do a little bit of both?
Pandemic kind of changed it all, right? Like, because for me, pre-pandemic, it was the thrill of the hunt. You know, it was that was the fun of it. But then pandemic and like the supply chains getting all screwed up and everything, and also like doing a YouTube channel where you talk about toys before I didn't mind if I didn't get it right away. I was like, I'll get it eventually. Who cares? It's just for me. But that desire to get it as early as possible so you can talk about it with other people, almost like pushed me more into the pre-orders. Like, I gotta pre-order. I gotta make sure I have it as early as possible so I can talk about it. So I shifted into more pre-orders because of all those external pressures. But now that pre-orders are coming a lot quicker, or they give you a date, but it arrives 6 months sooner, or you do a pre-order on Target, but they charge your credit card 10,000 times. Or I pre-order it, but I just go in the store and I see it anyway. I'm kind of just leaning more going back towards, if I find it, I'll buy it, and I don't know, it's like, what's that? It's that meme from Rogue One, just like, it's a peaceful life. Like, it's just like, I just feel like it's a more enjoyable experience.
Yeah, the whole pre-ordering is just not reliable anymore. I was just weird. Me and Joe were just talking about, I had a bunch of stuff pre-ordered on Entertainment Earth, and I wasn't supposed to get stuff till like March, and they just hit my account now, and I'm like,
right. And again, if we're toy collectors, we're generally I don't know, not good with money, maybe to the point of like we spend stuff on shit we shouldn't by as our hobby, as a design. But there's this joke I have on our show of like, it's a future J problem. And so it's nice to be like, oh, this isn't coming out for 2 years. Sure, pre-order it. It's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, oh, it's arriving a year. I was like, oh shit, I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, isn't it funny? Like you pre-order something, like the whole that 2 years, like, yeah, I'll pre-order it, and all of a sudden it's like the next day it's coming out. You're like, what the hell happened?
It's kind of like it's one of the most like cringy episodes of The Office, but Scott's Tots, are you all Office fans who watch The Office?
I have not. No.
Okay. Well, one episode was he promised this class of kids in this like underserved school or whatever, if you all graduate high school or something, he will pay for their college. Every single person. And then they celebrate him in the city. They write newspaper articles about him. But so then the bill comes due at 10 years or whatever it is, and he's like, I don't have the money to pay for. I thought I was going to be a millionaire by the time I was 40. His whole thing is just like, I was going to have enough money by that time to pay for your colleges. I feel like that's how we feel like with these pre-orders, because I just got hit with that Thunder Tank charge.
I was going to ask if you got that.
And thank God, like there was enough, whispers and word thrown out, hey, it's going to ship soon. I was like, I had to make sure I had that set aside. But even still, seeing like the shipping and everything hit, I was just like, oh God, that hurts.
Yeah, that's why I tried not to pre-order a ton, because I lose track. And yeah.
Not only that, but like it seems to be like my problem always is too, is like everything I want always comes at the same time too. Like it can't just be nice and spread out throughout the year. No, it's got to be everything at once and then nothing.
Yeah.
I was watching that video Mad Hatter just did about the Haulathon, and I'm like, man, I really pray that there's not that much stuff coming out for Haulathon, because
well, I feel like we've talked about this before on our show, but it's the supply chains have opened up, right? There's not these crazy, weird port issues where there's just freight, ships waiting for 6 months, offshore to kind of come in. Like, it's cleared through. So we're in this weird, almost like pendulum swing the complete opposite way. And it's gonna be like this for a little while. And in this space, in this environment, I'm just like, I'm not gonna pre-order. I'm just gonna wait, because I can't plan around this.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and like things are happening, like you said, when figures that are just coming out, they're already going on clearance. Like they're half price. Like some of the wrestling figures I've noticed, the brand new ones are like $11 now.
Yep.
So they want to get that shit out and get more, because I know my Walmarts, they have the 2x Me. They have like containers out back, like just for a mile in the back of the store. It's crazy. They want to get shit in and out now that they keep getting more. So they can't say, hold on, guys, now we got to get rid of this. That shit just keeps coming.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Yeah, honestly, by me, there's unless you're buying NECA, there's no reason to pay full price for
Yeah,
any of the stuff because
absolutely.
it'll all make it to clearance.
Yeah.
Or
And
Lando. Don't forget
well,
Lando.
Yeah,
but
he
the
never
thing
cleared.
that's, I feel bad because I was in Germany and hanging out with like German toy collectors.
Mhm.
And they were just like, fuck you and your clearances, man. They don't clearance stuff there. Like they don't the supply, like they don't have as many distributors over there. So just it's not as flush with stuff as we get in the US.
Mhm.
But they also don't clearance. He was just like, they may clearance it and maybe like $1 off. It's not like you get at Target where they slash it 70% because they just need to move shit out of there.
Yeah.
Right.
Sit on
Walmart's bad too because I go into the clearance aisle, I see figures, normal price $20,
Oh, yeah.
sale price $20, and I'm like, is it me or is this not on sale? Like, why the fuck do you have it in the clearance in the clearance section? So
Target's the way to go. I'm lucky enough I live like 5 minutes from a Target, so
Mhm.
I can just go and check, just see, or it because they clearance everything. It's not just toys. Like if it was like, oh, it's a cool house item. All right, I'm gonna mentally note that one and let's go because depending on their clearance stage, just go check. It's like, oh, now it's clearance for 70% off. I'll buy it now.
Yeah, definitely.
So how was it like when you're in Germany? What like the prices, the collecting, like what is it like over there? I mean,
so I kind of it was more learning just from them and just kind of hearing because I was in Germany for Spielwarenmesse, which is a Nuremberg toy fair, which was in its own right an incredible experience. But they don't have a lot of like they have what replaced Toys R Us, which is called Smyths, and they have kind of department stores and stuff like that. But they don't have a lot of like vintage. Like my buddy who invited me out there, he was like, "Yeah, they just don't have like vintage toy shops, like where you can go find vintage stuff. It's really hard to get vintage stuff." And so I went to this one comic store. There's a really nice comic book store. It's like 3 stories, tons of stuff, but all the toys were, basically just new stuff. It was all, Black Series, all the McFarlane stuff, Marvel Legends. Like it, how you go to a toy show sometimes and I like a mix. I like vintage stuff. I like new stuff. But if it's all just new stuff that I can just find at Target or Walmart, it's like, this is kind of
definitely.
right. That's kind of what it felt like there. It just didn't have because I like finding weird vintage stuff or whatever that
me too.
For years,
definitely.
Yeah, I love the vintage stuff. I like the nostalgia part of it, but I do love that. I really love the Hot Toys right now. Like I've been, that's.
It's a rich man's game.
Well, no, not for me, but that's why I just get one as I can. I'm not I'm not gonna go out there and get myself in a load of shit to get like 1,000 of them at once. But I think it's more fun if you take your time and you I think for me anyway, I enjoy it more if I get it when I can and or whatever, instead of trying to push it and get too many too fast. Because then if you do anything too fast, it's not as fun. And that's my opinion. I mean, I don't know.
Or you just get overwhelmed of it too. Like, it's the pitfalls of doing a channel dedicated to toy collecting, where it's just like I get like a backlog. And I'm just like, I'm never gonna get to this. I'm never gonna get to this video. I don't have time. 10-minute review takes me like a whole week sometimes, just because of all the editing and then like it just takes time. And so it just becomes you get desensitized to it. It's like I just don't give a shit anymore, and it's. And so you kind of have to like it's keeping it in balance 100%. And Hot Toys is a good way to do that because it's just you can't binge Hot Toys without unless you're rich.
And like honestly, right now, unless you're collecting vintage, it doesn't apply. But if I would rather just buy myself one Hot Toy or something nice than pay these prices for Hasbro or.
Yeah, exactly.
It's. I mean,
that was another friend of the chat. He's on Toy Anxiety as well. Ryan Dole. He made that decree because he was frustrated with Black Series, and because he's in Canada too. So I think by the time like the exchange and everything, like a Black Series figure would be like $50-$60 or something.
Right.
And he says like, well, for the price of 4 of these, I could have a Hot Toy. So I'm just gonna get a Hot Toy. It's way better.
I've been noticing a lot of people selling their Black Series off. I don't know. Has anybody else noticed that?
Oh yeah, a lot of people are getting out of it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm keeping what I have, but I'm
Mhm.
not really gonna be buying any of that. Like I said, it's gonna be more Hot Toys now. But like you said, I'm not gonna pay $38 for a Mando
Mhm.
Black Series Deluxe or whatever the fuck they call it.
Sure.
I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna buy a Hot Toy, man. Like it's a little bit more, but when I can do it, it just seems better for me
Mhm.
than having the Black Series for $38 to $40. Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
So I went hard into Hot Toys for a while, and then again it was just like I
Mhm.
can't afford this anymore. So, I sold most, but I have the Christopher Reeve Superman, the '89 Keaton Bats, the New Hope Vader, Empire Boba Fett, and Empire Luke, and then I have a Blitzway,
Mhm.
Peter Venkman.
Sounds like you kept the good ones. I liked every one of them that you.
Well, exactly. I was just like, I kept the one. I was like, these
Yeah,
are the best of the best.
Right.
But I do another Future J problem. I did pre-order the Hot Toys DeLorean, the Back to the Future 2 DeLorean.
Yeah.
Because that's one of my regrets. Like I had it ordered on Big Bad Toys to the original one, whenever that was. And then I canceled it because it was like, shit, I don't have any room for this. I don't have it was $600 or $500, $600. I was like, I don't have money for this right now. But of course, like now they're like $2,000 if you want one or whatever. So
yeah.
So anyways, I'm really excited about that one. But now it's like, okay, then I gotta get a good because they're not making they have like the first movie and the third movie. They don't have a good second movie, Marty and Doc. So I'm hoping they re-release those. But I'm really excited for those.
Yeah, I was gonna get the Doc and the Marty McFly, the first movie ones.
Yes,
but I just decided I don't know. I'm more stick to Star Wars and a few other things. So I'm just gonna stick with that for now. We'll see what happens though. But I love Back to the Future. It's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, same.
It kind of hurts not to get it, but maybe someday. I don't know.
Like that's one of like the grail. That's a grail of a grail of a grail. It's maybe the ultimate grail. Is I want a DeLorean one day. It's like the shittiest car known to man, but I want it so bad.
Just put it out front and like, boom, there it is. Look at this.
Yeah, like it'd be like a Sunday driver, or just it's a toy show driver. Just like drive it into a toy show, and then be the king of the toy show, and then just drive it back. And that's the only time I drive it.
Yeah, I know when people drive into the toy shows in their little Ecto ones, man. Everybody turns around.
I was just gonna bring up Ecto one like that.
Yeah.
Oh, if we could get
All
one
the
of
time.
those. Woo!
There's a lot of those out there.
Oh, I know.
A lot of converted hearses. And what's funny is like hearse collectors get really pissed at Ecto conversion people. It's just like, you're converting all of these classic because there's only like the actual, I think, Ecto 1 car, Miller Meteor 59 Caddy conversion. I think there's only like 50 in the world. And so like they get really pissed when you convert one. It's like, that's one less hearse or ambulance, you assholes.
Right.
Yeah.
So did you get your Thunder tank yet, or is it still coming?
It's shipping. It's FedEx says tomorrow, but that's a FedEx lie. I feel like that's maybe like Wednesday or something.
FedEx lies a lot, man. Like, it'll just say by 8 p.m. and then 8 p.m. will come and go, and then it'll say, "Oh, something has happened." And then
I have that same problem with Amazon. I'll check my Amazon stuff. It's like, oh, now it's coming this date, and then that date rolls around. It's like, nope, now it's coming this date. I'm like, you just tell me you don't know.
yeah. Like if I buy something personally from somebody like one of you guys or something, I bought something from you, I sent you the money. I always say, can you send UPS, because FedEx and USPS here are the absolute shit. They're terrible. So
I've been lucky with USPS, at least just locally here. But actually, I mean, in general, I haven't had too many issues. Amazon, I've had a lot of issues lately.
Yeah,
they never get
down to shit.
Amazon's really irritating me. Like I don't even like ordering. It's like it's always like a 50-50 game with Amazon with me. It's like, am I going to get it or am I going to get a refund? Because and I love that. Like, oh, if it doesn't arrive by this date, come back here for a refund. I'm like, I don't want a refund. I ordered something because I want that item.
I want my fucking toy. I just want my toy.
I had that on Christmas this year. My niece, she wanted a little music box thing. And so I ordered it on Prime with plenty of time to arrive in time for Christmas. And and then it's just one of those things like, wait, that's supposed to be like 2 days. Why isn't that here yet?
Mhm.
And I go and check. Like, oh, well, it's delayed. I was like, ah, shit. Well, I have plenty of time. Hopefully it's still. And then I got this delayed. It may be lost. So do you want a refund or do you want to still wait? And I'm just like, well, fuck. And it was a very specific type of music box. I'm like, shit, there's no other ones. Like, let me try and wait this out. And then it never shipped. It never arrived. And I had to go find something else. Just like, Amazon's got to be careful because I don't know. It's just there's so many ads for like just shitty products. Like it's just the user experience has really gone downhill. I feel like over there.
Yeah, I've really been griping about Amazon lately. I like, and then the other issue too is like something will come and the box is fine, so it's not shipping. I'll open it up and like the package is like torn in half. It's like, why would you ship this to somebody? You advertise it as a collectible thing. So why would you put it in a box like that?
Yeah. And
this is all very strange to me. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but because I never had a problem with Amazon. Even when I order anything, they package it nicely and it comes on time. It's weird.
And maybe like because the thing is like those distro centers, and that's where I feel bad too, because I don't want to like harp too much because I know people working in those distro centers, like they can't even take pee breaks because they're trying to like do all these orders. So I don't want to make it sound like, you know, I'm shitting on these workers. I know they're like work to the bone. But I think that's part of the problem, right? It's just like Amazon there's maybe just, I don't know, they're just not keeping up with demand. But you know, maybe that's a good thing, because I don't know, it's like I don't know, killing like how Walmart or whatever killed Toys R Us. Like, you know, actually, no, wait, take that back. What's that equity firm killed Toys R Us? But anyway, like maybe we just go support other, you know, fucking things that are buying from Amazon. Maybe that's the point.
That's weird. I never had a problem with Amazon. I mean, I can't say never. I have had things that they said were delivered.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not at my house, so I don't know where you put it. So then I got to drive around, and luckily I don't have many neighbors. We live on a 1-lane road, so I have about 10 neighbors. So I don't really knock on their doors and ask, but if somebody would know that it's mine and bring it to me. They know us. So
yeah,
they would send it, they resend it. I mean, it's kind of uncomfortable, you know. You don't want to be that Scamazon guy because you're like, hey, I know people do this, but like I really didn't get this shit. Like I don't know where it is. And that's happened maybe once or twice, and they've been good about it, but
yeah, I accidentally when I moved, I accidentally ordered that. It was the Game of Thrones box set, like collector box set. It was like a $250 box set. I accidentally shipped it to my old address, and I go there. No, we didn't get it. I'm like, it gives me the time that it was delivered.
That's another part that sucks, is that transition, like where it's like all your your settings and shit, or you pre-ordered it when you live somewhere else, and that transition again. That's why I'm just hopefully never have to move again.
It's just
exactly what it was.
Luckily, when we moved,
just buy, you know, or that quick transaction, and I was all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. Luckily, when we moved, the guy who bought our house, he was really cool. Every time something came there by mistake or mail kept going there when it wasn't supposed to, he would call us and we'd go pick it up. So he was cool about that. But
yeah, I didn't have the same experience as you.
Yeah, for you, it's like, no, we don't have that PlayStation.
I think there are exact words where we don't even watch
shit. He's here.
We don't even watch Game of Thrones. I'm like, that's not what. I don't care. I mean, it was really obviously delivered to you.
How did you know it was Game of Thrones, motherfucker?
It was Game of Thrones.
Right. How did you know what it was, right?
Yep. And the cops wouldn't do anything about it. No, so it's just like,
no. What are they gonna do? Get a warrant to check the house for it?
Right. Exactly.
Sir, do you really want to move forward with this?
Yeah. It's a fucking toy. Like, it's a what? It's a predator. It'd be so funny.
Right.
We should actually do that as a practical joke. Oh my goodness. Yeah. How would your wife feel about when you started doing this? Like, I know mine, she was like, kind of gave me like a look, and then I was like, I'm serious. But she's been really good about it. How about yours?
Same, you know, like, but this isn't always the case, but usually like in relationships, you know, one person is the the thrifty one or the cost conscious one, and then the other
Mhm.
person's the free spirit, I guess, when it comes to buying. So I'm that. Like, I'm the one just like, you're gonna die one day. Just be happy. Go get what you want. And wife Colleen, she is just like, you need it for a rainy day. Like so I'm so thankful that is my spouse.
Yeah.
Because like my parents, or my mom, and both my mom and dad, and then my mom and stepdad, both terrible with money. And so so that's a lot worse. So I'm thankful I have a spouse that's like supportive, but also don't be a fucking idiot. Don't spend all my money on this. So we smartly so there's like our joint account and then like separate accounts, and then my separate accounts is to buy this stupid shit, but it can't impact the familial money structure, if that makes sense.
Like my wife's been really good about it too, but and she even goes to some shows with me and stuff. She went to IPCC with me. She's been really cool about this whole thing. I think from like me, and this is kind of funny, and it's kind of like a joke, but like I'll say, hey babe, I just ordered 2 Hot Toys. How much were they? Oh, it came to like $600. And then she'll say, I want to get my nails done. You want a what? How much is that? It's $50. No way. Like, so it's kind of funny,
that one. It's almost the opposite. Like, so I can't. I wish I would want her to kind of treat herself, right? Like Parks and Rec, treat yourself. She's very averse to spending money. So that's where I try, like, to be respectful of that. And so like I try to have side hustles that make money so that I could just spend it on stupid shit and she doesn't have to worry about it. So that's kind of the
same here. Yeah, I try to do that too. And I'm just kidding. Like, she does get her nails done. It's just sometimes I'll just ask her how much is that, and she's like, "Don't worry about it. You just bought 2 goddamn Hot Toys." I'm like,
"Yeah, it's like you're in no position. You have no leverage."
I have no, there's nothing I can say.
No, that's when you're like, whatever you want.
Yeah,
right. Because like
anything.
Yeah, like maybe if you're like, I bought a Marvel Legends figure, then you might have a little more equity. But 2 Hot Toys, you're screwed.
Yeah, hey, babe, I went out and bought a Marvel Legend. She'd probably be like, "You what?" Yeah, because I don't buy that. So, what the fuck did you just buy that for? So.
Well, according to Quip in the chat, it sounds like you're going to need a add-on to your house because you got a lot of vehicles coming.
I don't think all of them are staying. Yeah, because I've got well, Quip said it here. Well, anyways, I got Thunder Tank, DeLorean. I've got I already got the UA Turtle Van. I've got the Super 7 Turtle Van. And I had plans to make them all work, but my guess is probably the Turtle Van won't survive. And it really depends on this Thunder Tank. It's really got it to review on the channel to share that experience. But if I don't know, I haven't had great luck with Super 7 lately. So if it doesn't blow me away, I'm gonna sell it. Like it's not gonna stay. So
right.
It's this weird kind of like, all right, Super 7, prove it. Prove why I need to keep this in or make space for this thing.
Yeah.
Which, again, if I didn't have a channel, I probably wouldn't have ordered it because I know I don't have space right now. But there is that thing of like having a channel. It's like, well, this is good content. This will be, either I look like an idiot, which is good content, or it's really cool, which is good content. So either way,
not to mention that
there is no bad
backpack. You have that big Ghostbusters HasLab back there, and that's huge. That
thing. I was just looking those up. Do you see what they're going for?
No, I hadn't.
They're like $1,700, $1,800. Like,
he's like,
damn, I'm mad I missed. I skipped out on that one.
Let me go on eBay real quick.
How much were they How much were they? Like 600, something like that.
No, they were fucking $399.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And what was the only thing is you had to bring your own Neutronodon. Like they sold the Neutronodon separately.
See that you can get you can get that kind of reasonably.
Yeah.
But the Proton Pack, woo!
But the thing that's so funny is, and again, there's this will probably the most like bang for your buck, the best HasLab ever, right? Just because and we talked about it when it was during the pre-order window. Like we freaked out about it on our channel, and myself included, like really beating that drum, because for Ghostbusters fans and people that have always wanted a prop proton pack, like if you've wanted a nice one, you'd have to pay someone to make you one. It's like $3,000 to get a nice, accurate proton pack.
Yeah.
And so when they put that price at $399, I was like, holy shit. Like even if it's maybe not 100% just as good as a $3,000 one, it's still going to be an absolute steal of a deal. And it is like, and now that we have them in hand, it's amazing. Like it's one of my favorite things that I've gotten in decades, just because it's like, I've always wanted it, like a real life proton pack, and it does all the lights and sounds. It has all the wires. It looks just like I don't know, just so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And so, but people at the time was like, it's so expensive, or I hate HasLabs because, toy companies shouldn't crowdfund shit. And like, I understand the logic, but there's no way this would be a retail sell thing. It's so fucking huge.
No. And $400, you can't beat it.
Yeah. And I was like, this is a good deal.
Yeah.
This isn't like the fucking hell charge or whatever. This is a really good deal. But people kind of, or maybe I understand too. People didn't have $400 at the time. I get that. But now you look at $1,700. It shows you how much value is in this thing. It is amazing.
I would love to have it.
I haven't heard anybody say anything bad about it, and I really wanted it at the time. I just didn't have the money for it, because that's the kind of stuff I love. Like I love like prop replica stuff.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted a proton pack and all this stuff, but I just couldn't do it at the time. So
yeah, had I known at the time that was even, I don't research things as well as I should. So if I knew at the time, I would have probably pulled the trigger on that for sure. It's really cool. Just as a prop, I would love it. I don't collect a lot of Hasbro stuff, and I wasn't in the whole Hasbro Hulk thing. So like that was also a factor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was looking them up last night, because I was just watching Dave's Dimension. He did a live stream. They were talking about them, and then I watched the Ghostbuster movies last night, and I was like,
You were
I was like,
you just see. I
was like, now it's like, do I pay that much for a Hasbro one, or do I just get a custom one made? So
maybe I shouldn't have brought this up.
But who knows? Maybe as successful as it is, maybe someday they'll do another one. I don't know.
Yeah, there's two pieces of advice I would give, or two ways you could go about it. One, at least with my experience with HasLabs, don't buy them on eBay. Try and find somebody locally, like at a toy shop. There's always somebody that has one of them.
Yeah.
And, they don't want to sell it on eBay, because that's, they're going to have to take, probably when you take all the fees out of it, like 20% off of whatever they sell it for, plus having to ship it. Like to ship this without some type of huge distro deal, you're talking hundreds of dollars to ship it. So, if you'd probably save hundreds and hundreds of dollars if you found somebody selling one at a local toy show or something. Right. Same is true for Galactus, for a Sentinel, for the Razor Crest. You can get them for hundreds cheaper at a local show from somebody that did not spend what they're going for. They spent $400 on it, not $1,700 on it, and they're willing to not make quadruple their money, but maybe double their money. That's one piece of advice. And then the second thing, like you said, Colin, there's another Ghostbusters movie coming out, and I assume Hasbro will do another HasLab. Maybe it'll be a Ghost Trap or something, but maybe they'll do because this is Egon's proton pack. Maybe they'll do Venkman's proton pack or something. Right. It could happen again.
Yep. That's what I'll just hold tight for now. That's because I'm not about paying.
He'll hold tight till we get off of here, and then he'll be like, I'm gonna order it now.
Nope, I won't do that.
Yeah, it's definitely cool though.
There's always a especially nowadays with how much these companies are re-releasing things and everything. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another. Yeah,
especially if they did so well on it.
Yeah.
I think there's this weird thing with like HasLab or these types of things where people get ticked because it's supposed to be exclusive. They'll never make it again. Then people get really pissed off if they make something again. I'm just like, well, whatever. Like, you have it, but there is that like kind of gatekeepy thing. It was just like, well, I only wanted me. I didn't want my friends to have it. I like that I have it. My friends don't have it. I'm just like, I don't know. Just why can't everybody have what they want?
Oh, I know. We were just talking about that. Too many. There's too many gatekeepers.
Yeah.
And it's in everything.
Oh,
Everything.
yeah, everything. It's a human flaw or component or whatever.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah, it's like, just because I'm showing you on my channel what I have doesn't mean I need your approval to have it. You know, I'm not asking you, hey, do you like this? I'm just showing you that I like this.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy right now. Like, people just want to say, why'd you buy that or whatever? And I haven't personally come across this, but I know people that have. And it's kind of ridiculous.
Oh,
you have to go through that, you know?
I had this is one of my favorite comments I've gotten recently. So I did a review of the D&D, the Toon D&D figures on my channel. And in general, they're a big disappointment, right? Because they looked really cool. It's a beloved animated show, but maybe a little bit of a deep cut animated show from the 80s. But it was cool that Hasbro was going to do, like, these animation or Toon accurate versions of these characters, a la like NECA's done a great job with their Toon Turtle line. And so, I was like really excited, one, because of that, but also Ghostbusters is my favorite thing ever. It's like, oh, they could do the real Ghostbusters like this. We've always wanted, like, highly articulated real Ghostbusters figures. And so I was like, I'm all in, let's go. I'll buy the whole set. But then people, all the arms are snapping off, all that kind of shit. I was like, shit, is mine gonna have the same problem? But my foot snapped off, and then one other was missing an accessory. And in the review, I was just like, they look cool, but like I'm done. I'm not gonna buy any more of these because like this was, and they jacked the price on them. So this was like over $100 on these 4 or 5 figures, and like I'm just done. I'm not gonna buy any more. But then I had a comment where the guy was like, it was like, well, I'm excited for these, and I've waited my whole life for these, and it's reviews like these that cancel lines early. So if they cancel Toon D&D, I'm gonna come for you.
Whoa.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm sure my review is
Dexter
going to cancel a toy line.
And so, and it was like, I'm just sharing. This is my experience. I'm just sharing my experience, good or bad. Like, there's no whatever. And I feel bad that he feels that way, but also just like, I don't have some perspective. I didn't make this shitty product.
Right.
Like, I didn't do it. Would you rather me not tell the truth?
Yeah. And then we go out and buy it, and we're like, why did he say this was so good when it's trash? And then they'll blame you that way. I'm coming to get you because you said this was too good, and now you made me waste money, And
yeah, you can't win. You do.
And that's what I'm saying. That's your opinion.
Yeah.
And as far as I know sometimes it doesn't look like it in this world, but we're entitled to that still, I hope. So.
Yeah, well, that's just, and that's where it's like, it's the number one rule of YouTube. Don't look at the comments. Like, it's just, and so, I didn't respond to it or anything, but it's like some people can get really miffed at that. It's like, just let it be.
Oh man, I pronounced one of the Toon Turtle characters wrong. Toka. I pronounced Toka wrong. I had a guy talking crap because I pronounced the name wrong. I was like, I'm sorry. I don't say anything to these
You're
people
in Wisconsin, right? You could be like, well, this is how we say it with the Wisconsin accent.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
This is
I don't respond to those people at all. Like, that's the best thing you can do is just not respond
just
to them.
leave it, because people that are that angry and or wanting to, like, I'm just like, just you whatever. Because in real life, they would never talk to you like that in real life.
Oh no. I came across a YouTube channel the other night, and it was a live stream, and all they were doing was pulling up other YouTube channels and making fun of them. And like there was like 70 people in the chat, and I'm like, this is pathetic.
Yeah.
Shit, I have to go watch. I hope I'm not on there.
But
actually, I don't give a fuck if I am. That's more exposure. Go ahead.
Well, and that's where, on our channel, like I take the, why can't we be kind to each other? Like, why does it, like, the world is so divisive? Like, why do we have to, like, it's toys. Why do we have to make we don't need to make toys divisive. Like, why can't we just enjoy this thing? It's fun. It's supposed to be for fun. I'm not going to make you pick sides. I'm not going to try and pit people against people. Like, let's just enjoy this thing that we're passionate about. And let's, good vibes only, which I don't know, maybe that's too hippie or whatever, but I'm just like, I don't want it. Like, I don't want
it. In a world where there's so much bad going on, I'm sure both of you guys, when you walk in your room, that's your breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
It is for me. Like, I know I can come in here and I can look around and I have thousands of memories. And that's, I don't have to worry about the outside bullshit going on. And,
life is hard, right? Like people, it's not easy. Nobody gets out of this thing alive, right? So like, if you have a thing that brings you joy and it's not hurting anybody, then just like, I don't know, enjoy it. Don't feel bad. Like, I don't know, just like if you have something that brings you joy, it makes you happy.
Well, that's why those people just don't make sense to me. It's like, do you not enjoy your hobby then, or like what? Why would you rather be fighting with other hobbyists than
like
exactly.
why?
It doesn't matter if you collect the same thing or not. I mean,
like, why are you here just to pick a fight? I mean, if that's what you want to do, I mean, go be an MMA fighter. I mean, what the fuck are you doing here? Like,
right?
I mean, and not to change the subject, but some of the shows that I like of yours that are the best to me are the ones where you do your live purchases. Like, you'll do your, those are funny to me, man. Like, you did one not long ago.
Was it
you were just
or something?
Yeah. And you were like, what happened? I don't know if I got it. Oh my God. Like, it's unique. You don't see many people doing that. And that was pretty cool. I like that.
My favorites are Mad Hatters. Like, he's my favorite. But there's just something, but even that, it's like sharing in it together. It's just like, I'm not alone, there's something to that where, it's like we come on a little bit earlier, like everybody's kind of in the same boat. We're all in this together. But I gotta say, like, that one was stressful and what's kind of funny is I think Frogmonger, some of them are delayed. Like, I haven't got my shipping notice yet, and they're saying maybe those will ship in April, but whatever, it'll get here eventually. But that one was really stressful because I was stuck in this waiting room and it wouldn't go. And then there's a live chat, right? And so I have a multi-monitor set up. Like, I have like one here, and I think I was ordering on my laptop, so I had the laptop here. But then I just see the chat right here, and I keep saying, people like, got it, I'm in, got it. I was like, I'm still waiting. It's so stressful.
Yeah, I saw that. Everybody was getting it, and you're like, how come I can't get it? I'm stuck.
It's like every time I order from like Walmart or Target now, which I don't do very often, but I'm almost like I'm just expecting like the cancellation email.
Because that's what they either cancel. Like, Target's the worst, and we've said this on our show, like, because then they do this re-pinging of the credit card, and it's just and I've had some people say like 4 times, and but then it'll sit in pending. So something that's supposed to be $25 will pend at $100 because they pended it 4 times, and it doesn't it has to cycle out. So I just Target, I'm done, because and I will also say, and I know I'm I'm speaking from a place like privilege that I have a Target. I can just go walk over there. It's not a big. Some people, like, they live. It's like, my Target's an hour away. I can't just. So I get that. I don't have to. So I just go, and most times I can get it. Whatever things there. So I realize that's from a place of, luck that I live next to one. But
I'm very fortunate to have so many Targets by me.
Yeah, because you're in like the birthplace of Target, right? Or at least.
I have one about 25 minutes away from me, but that's not terrible. I have 2 Walmarts by me, but I have more bad experiences with Walmart, like orders online, where they'll have it in stock, you order it, and then a couple of hours later, oh, we're out of stock. You've got to have a more sophisticated online purchasing app than that, I would think. Walmart's a big company. You should know you're not going to run out of this shit. You should have enough to sell to people who click add to cart and, and buy, I would think. So I don't know where that whole problem comes from.
I've worked for a few big companies, and something I've learned is they're all shit shows.
They don't handle their toy collectible. I don't know if it's everything that they don't handle well, or if it's just that, or what. I think
it's that. There's like nerds. We're not gonna put the money infrastructure into it. They just don't care.
Right. Yeah.
And so it is one of those things, like, you think, like, oh well, you should have it. But I worked at Google, and it's like, it was the most chaotic environment I've ever been in my life. Like and things just being held together with like spreadsheets to like run whole operations and stuff. And it's like the biggest company in the world. You literally print your billions of dollars a day. Like we can't have better things than a fucking Google spreadsheet to run this whole thing. And so anyway, so anytime there's like, I don't know, they fuck up or screw, I was like, that makes sense. Like anytime I feel like you get any group of human beings to collectively try to do something, it's going to be a fucking chaotic endeavor.
Right.
But that's when I really appreciate really well run things. I was like, you are the exception to the rule.
And it just feels good because
the
product actually comes and it comes on time. And
that's why, like, for Amazon, I never have that problem because when I say when they have something, they have it. You never get it. I never get a cancellation. I haven't personally.
Yeah,
like I have.
You must have really good distros around you. Then you must have like a really good, well-run distribution center.
Yeah, we do have a nice amount of them. There's one in Baltimore, about half hour away.
Yeah, I feel like whenever because I have family in New York, so we take the 95 on up all the time. So like whenever I feel like I'm taking the going through Delaware and then the Jersey Turnpike, I feel like there's always like these huge ass Amazon centers. Like
and there's actually one in Northeast Maryland, about 15 minutes away. So yeah, we do have a good amount of them. And one in Delaware too, I believe. Yeah, a couple in Delaware.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're all over the place now. So I mean, I've got shit the same day I've ordered it before, without Prime. Like it just says it'll be there later today, and I've gotten it.
Damn.
Yeah. So.
But see, I think it's because you're kind of in that hub. It's just like you have like the tri-state area up there. You got like the Mid-Atlantic. Like you're kind of just in that. Everything probably.
Yeah, you're in like a different state every day. Like. Joe's always in some other. He's in New Jersey one day, Delaware one other day.
Growing up in California, like I because California is a really long state. Like it encompasses probably almost the whole East Coast. So when people say like, "Oh yeah, I've been to 7 states today," when I drove to New York or whatever, it's like, what? So it's like these states are like I don't know the size of a town. They just
yeah, it's true for me. Like Delaware is like a 2-minute drive down the road.
Yeah,
Pennsylvania is another 10-minute. Drive up the road to the back roads. So yeah, I can go to Pennsylvania, Jersey, Delaware, Virginia, all these relatively easy.
Yeah.
So
And I was planning my ICC trip. I booked my hotel and everything, and I'm gonna drive down there, and I'm like 8 hours and 45 minutes. I was like, what? I was like, it takes me 8 hours to drive to the northern tip of Wisconsin. I just couldn't. It was just amazing that it was only that. I'm like, wow, Tennessee is not that far away.
Yeah, Tennessee is. I drove 12 hours to Tennessee last year for ICCC, and
I think I can get to Nashville and I think get there in 8 or 9 hours.
And it wasn't a bad ride for me. I mean, it was I forget what road I was on, 81 maybe or something.
Did you go through the Smokies or whatever?
I want to say it was I-81 or something like that, or 80 and 70 something. But it was not many turns at all. It was just like I cut right through. I went down to Virginia and then went along the northern part of Virginia right in. Yeah, to it was easy. I know that. I forget the exact route, but it was really a nice ride. Like not a lot of traffic.
Nice.
I
don't know which one. I used to coming from where I live in Raleigh to it. We go through the Cumberland Gap, so you just have the beautiful kind of mountains and kind of drive. It's like western North Carolina and like the eastern Tennessee. You have the Appalachian Mountains, and it's just. It's gorgeous. It's such a great drive just from that perspective too.
That's the best part about driving. You get to see so much just beautiful stuff.
Yeah,
I've driven to Arizona a couple of times, and some of the drive sucks, but a lot of it is amazing.
Yeah, I got a neighbor in the chat. He didn't realize we were that close. We are close. If you're in the suburbs of Newark, I'm right off of Newark Elkton Road. So and I'm
I feel
sure
like everybody's close to you.
Yeah, this guy here, Brian Brink, he's really close. Like
I'm tucked away from everybody. There's nobody by me.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm the only person on YouTube, like way up there.
I thought I was like I didn't realize there was anybody from around this area who'd done this kind of. I mean, I know there's a few, but like he's so close. It's crazy. Like he's telling me he's in the suburbs of Newark, Delaware, and that's
Brian's
drive.
I don't know if you had him on, or if you watch a show, and usually it has ups around, he does these amazing charts and stuff like that. So he maps out like the trajectories, like is it going to hit? Like Brian's a legend in our group.
Yeah, I have to. He should message me if you're still here. Message me and we'll talk. So.
Like Dave wants to know if you've ever made a trip to the firehouse in NYC. Being a ghost.
This is how I knew Colleen was a keeper. She lived in the city when we first started dating. I was going to school in North Carolina, and so we did long distance for a couple of years. And so the first trip I made to New York to visit her, like the first day, or I think I flew in, but the first like full day we had, she took me on a tour to every single Ghostbusters filming location.
Oh, nice.
She mapped it all out. She made a whole day of it, and not just Ghostbusters 1, but Ghostbusters 2. So we did the firehouse. We did the Met, the fountain scene where Dana comes out from her rehearsal. We went to the Statue of Liberty. Like she literally mapped the whole thing out, and we did that first day. And I was a hog in heaven. And anytime I go to the city and I can make a stop to the firehouse, I try to. The last time I had like my own solo adventure in New York, I went over there just to see it. It's so cool. That one especially. Actually, New York's just great in general because there's so many things like Home Alone. Like there's so many movies from there, and you just go see the things. And
you probably proposed that night, eh?
I would say just, it's like, I'm in love and I don't care who knows it. But it was a great day. And and I married that girl.
Yeah, and New York's only two or 2.5 hours from me. I remember going up there my first time, and I saw that big piano from when Tom Hanks danced on Big.
Theo Schwartz.
Yeah, and it was so cool to see that in person. And I'm like, man, I love that movie.
Yeah.
And the first time going up there, man, like when I see shit like that, I'm a total mark, man. I just go fucking berserk. Like I can't believe I'm actually here where this happened, and like New York's an iconic place in the first place. Like I don't like going up there much anymore. It's just a little weird right now. It's I think they're getting back to where it needs to be, but it's just it's like I don't like crowds too much, so it's the worst place for me to go. But I do love the history of it all, so it's a fun place to go.
Yeah, it's I especially love it at Christmas time, just because all the lights and everything, Rockefeller Center, like it's just beautiful. New York always has an energy, but I just feel like Christmas time it's got like the best energy.
Definitely, we went up there a few years ago for Christmas, and it was the cathedral, St. Peter's, all that, like you said, it's beautiful up there. Radio City Music Hall, like just everything's done up. Like there's just decorate all the lights and it's cold, but it's usually not horribly cold. No, because you have all them people and you're jammed up, so it's actually hot. You got like 30 degrees out there, and you're wearing a t-shirt on because you don't need a friggin' jacket. You got body heat all over.
The body heat,
right?
So I love it. Then summer, I'm not going to New York during the summer. It fucking sucks. It's
no
swamp.
No body heat again. You don't want to be there. You walk around naked. You'll get arrested. And it's
like Florida weather there during the summers. No.
Yeah, it gets really humid up
exactly. It's weirdly humid. Like it's just
I can't stand humidity. It's like one thing I hate about Wisconsin summers is the humidity. It just can't. You take a shower, you get ready, you go outside, and you're like, oh, I can take a shower again. Like it's just
that was
disgusting.
The hardest thing to forgetting the word, acclimate to from living in California. California, there's no humidity, right? It's a desert, so there's no humidity. There's no water, which is a problem, but that means there's no humidity. But when I moved here, I was just like, what the it's just like you just feel it. It's just like can't escape it. And that's why North Carolina is like a nice at least in between. Like, 'cause I have friends that live in Florida and they swear about it. It's like, it's too hot, too humid, too wet.
I can deal with it.
But at least here it gets humid and hot during the summer, but fall and spring are really nice, and winter's winter. It's cold. Like I like, at least growing up in San Diego, like we didn't have seasons, so I like seasons. And
Yeah, I love my seasons. I don't mind the cold. I don't like.
I don't
I
really.
couldn't
hate
give that
snow.
up.
Yeah, I hate snow. We haven't had any snow here. Like we had a couple flakes, but it's been like it's been in the 50s and 60s the past couple days. 40s at the very low, and it's like we don't even have a winter up here anymore. The last few years, we haven't gotten much rain at all. I mean, snow, not rain.
Yeah,
snow.
it's been weird. It's been really weird.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal.
I
is
remember
with
the
that,
last time we had a big snowfall. It's been a long time.
I think it's been about 2015.
Like, aren't you like under snow like the whole winter?
Nope.
Really?
Not as of recent.
No, I thought you were too.
Nope.
Yeah, we haven't had a big
northern Wisconsin. Yeah, they get a lot more snow than us. But
okay.
Yeah, we had a hell of a snow in 2015 or 16. That was the last one we had. So
we usually get one snow a year,
mm-hmm.
and what's nice about it, it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's just like it snows. Mm-hmm. We get a fun day of like sledding and doing snow shit, and then it's the next day, we're fine.
And you think about like today's the 12th. We only got 16 more days in this month. Then we got about 10 days before we turn the clocks again. And March 20th is spring. So bring it on. Bring it on.
We usually get snow late January, February, but it's running out of time. They're probably not going to get it this year, which is fine, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, looks like that's it's our time for this morning.
That was a quick hour. We must have had fun.
Yeah.
Jay, I appreciate you being on here.
Yeah. Happy to come on. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, and you're welcome back anytime. Come back anytime. Like we say, it sounds corny, but once you're on this show, we're friends for life. So keep in touch.
Awesome.
Keep in touch, dude. And we love what you're doing.
Thank you.
And if you want to stay on, we'll talk backstage for a minute or two. We'll let you go out of here. And thanks to everybody in the chat for joining. I don't want to go through the whole list of names. You know who you are, but we appreciate everybody joining in, being so interactive. Can't believe I got a neighbor in here, so that's cool. Hit me up, Brian. We'll talk. And don't forget, next Sunday we have the Pretty Collector on. That's our guest next Sunday at 9 a.m. But we also have this Thursday. What's his name again? Colin, you're the one that hooked me up with this guy here, and I gotta find it real quick. So hold on a sec. This is just new. So, Edward Payson is our guest on Thursday, the 15th at 7 p.m. So we have a pop-up show that night, and that was the night he was able to come on. So we'll have him, and then we'll have the Pretty Collector next Sunday at our normal time. But for now, that's what FN Figures, and thanks for joining. See you later.